Here's another movie I wasn't planning on reviewing, but because I keep getting asked a lot about it, I'll go ahead and give it a little review here. It's the new Predator movie, Killer of Killers. It's the animated, almost pseudo-anthology in the Predator universe. I put my peepers on this puppy right when it dropped, and I liked it. I thought it was fine. I just didn't have a whole lot to say about it, so I didn't bother spitting out a review on all of my deep thoughts in regards to Killer of Killers. But I get asked about it pretty often during streams since it's come out, so might as well just give the review on it anyway. I enjoyed it. I don't think it's perfect, but I thought for what it was a fun ride. So I thought it looked good, and I thought the action was good, and it's mainly just action. It's not that deep. There's a lot of nods to previous Predator movies, which I appreciate. There's definitely some problems with the story, though, which I guess I can talk about. Also, I hate the name. I said it when they first dropped the trailer. The name Killer of Killers, I think, is extremely silly. It reminds me of those Facebook Joker memes. Fuck the fuckers before they fuck you. That kind of shit. That's the kind of vibe the name gives, but it's kind of charming in its own way because it fits the vibe of the movie. So basically, the movie tells a pseudo-anthology, 3 separate short stories. One, a Viking woman who loses all of those closest to her because of a predator attacking them. The second being in feudal Japan with a Ronin who, after trying to get revenge on his brother, gets interrupted by a predator's strike, and then he has to fight that. And then the third being a pilot in World War II, and then it's a dogfight between him and a predator in their spacecraft. And the stories aren't bad. There's a couple of emotional beats in the first two. The third one, I think, is by far the worst. It's kind of devoid of, anything. It almost feels like a complete joke. The pilot is supposed to have these moments that are supposed to be, intense, but he's, really quippy, and it doesn't seem like he's taking anything seriously while hunting and being hunted by the predator. He's not even really hunting him, to be fair. He's just kind of trying to survive. But even, his survival is just him quipping like he's a fucking Marvel character. And when people close to him die, he doesn't, he brushes it off real quick. It doesn't really affect him. I don't know. That one I thought was really weak. The action was still cool there, but the actual narrative beats of that part I thought were bad. The first two I thought did a good job. The Viking mother who loses her son and has to fight against this giant predator. This guy's been boofing his muscle milk. She fights him, and it's a really flashy, fun fight. And then the one in feudal Japan where the Ronin squares off against the Predator, that's a tag team match against that one. That one's also very cool, and I actually thought the narrative in that was very interesting. Then it ultimately leads to the finale where these 3 characters come together, and they are supposed to fight to the death in order to fight the Predator King. And honestly, I don't love the finale. It's not terrible, it's still flashy, it's still fun, but you have these 3 characters that have been on ice for however many years, hundreds of years, and now all of a sudden they're thrown into the Thunderdome here to fight each other, to then fight the Predator King, and somehow they band together, even though they can't understand each other's languages. They overcome their differences, they team up, then they fight the Predator King, they win against him, and then somehow that pilot from World War II knows how to fly the Predator spacecraft to get them out of there. It just feels really rushed. It feels kind of ridiculous, even in the context of an animated film. I know how fucking absurd that sounds for me to call something in an animated film preposterous, but it is, I think, a bit wacky here. I think it goes a little Insano style to its own detriment. If they had just done the 3 stories here, the 3 short stories, for the whole movie, I would have been much happier with that. Give them even more time, because the first 2, I think, did a great job with the character development and the story they tell there. Third one, maybe if you cooked that a little bit longer, you could have had something more compelling there, too. But overall, those 3 stories, I think, were really enjoyable. The finale, though, I don't know, I was just left kind of disappointed. It's a really cool concept. I do really like the concept, and I do want to see more from, the Predator home world and, their culture, because it seems a little wishy-washy on how much honor actually means to them, because it kind of just changes all the time. Sometimes they'll prove themselves so formidable, but that the Predators will drop down to a knee, madame, tipping fucking fedora, that kind of thing, or even, we've seen in the past, kind of just let them go, or even try and make the fight as fair as possible. At the end of this movie here, though, that just, they kind of wiped their whole ass with that entire thing. Like, even when they are victorious and they escape on the ship, the Predator King sends, like, the entire fleet after them. And also, like, where are they even going to go? The World War II pilot doesn't even know when or where they are in the fucking universe. Like, it's, I don't know. It was just, I didn't really like the ending. It felt extremely rushed. I think it would have been far stronger to just have the 3 short stories and just stretch them out a little bit longer, add more to them in order for it to be the whole movie. And maybe you could do, like, some kind of tie-in, because I do think showing, like, the Predator world with, like, every strong warrior on ice is really cool. I think there's a lot of potential there, and I'm sure that's going to be explored going forward. But I just didn't really love the finale. Even the action in the finale, I think, was weaker than all the action they had shown in the 3 short stories. At the end, it felt more like just doing anything they can to tie this into whatever their plans are with this IP going forward, as opposed to giving, like, a proper conclusion to the movie that they were making here, like the story they were telling and building up to. So I do think that fell kind of flat. But overall, I think Killer of Killers was good. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun. I'm happy we're getting so many high-quality animations coming out in the recent years here. It's great. I like to see that. Hope to see more. I hope it continues. So yeah, I mean, I think it was good. Hopefully Predator Badlands is also good. I will say there were some things in the trailer I didn't love, but this made me more optimistic for it. You know what, there is actually something I wanted to dive in on, and it's not even particularly just about this movie, but Killer of Killers has a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes, at least it did as of June 8th, making it the highest rated Predator franchise entry ever. And this is something Matt and I were talking about 2 days ago. It feels like everything that comes out that's good or even great is always, like, cherished and worshipped as the best to ever come out. Just think about how frequently you've seen these kind of headlines over, like, the last 5 years. A good movie will come out and all of a sudden it's God's gift to cinema. This is an extraordinary piece of art here. Longlegs, scariest film ever made. The highest rated Rotten Tomatoes debut for a horror film ever. And then 2 months later, you see those same accolades recycled on a totally different horror movie, also like a 99% on Rotten Tomatoes. It just feels like we are in an era where it just has to be extreme. Like, something can't just be good or even great. It has to be the best. We have to glaze it like it is the best that has ever existed, and everything that came before it is lesser. I just think it's a little absurd. Killer of Killers. Is it a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes good? No. I definitely don't think so. Even though I liked it, I really enjoyed it, I definitely don't think it's up there with some of, like, the all-time greats. Is it the best movie in the Predator franchise? No. I also don't think so either. Like, it's good, and because it's good in the current day and age, that means it is pushed to its absolute limits in terms of praise. Like, it is just glazed out the wazoo to the point where it's just the highest rated. I know this is a pretty worthless rant here. It has nothing to do with the actual movie or anything. I just wanted to briefly mention it because this seems to be pretty commonplace these days about, like, something of quality comes out and then all of a sudden everyone's saying, like, it's actually the best ever. Sometimes I think they're absolutely right. Example, Andor. Andor, I think, is the best thing Star Wars has, like, ever had. I think Andor is one of those rare cases where all of that glaze, I think, is, like, super appropriate. I think they're, like, right on the money with it. It is that good. Anyway, though, I'll stop yapping. Killer of Killers was a good animated film. I enjoyed it. That's about it. See ya.